balmy shores of sunny Florida to the cold winds of Chicago and everywhere in between, you're watching the Red Wemette Show, live, coast to coast. Talk of the town, Mr. Red Wemette.
Hello, everybody. Today is January 12th, 2026, and I am Red Wemette. How you doing, folks? Eric Phillips. Hi, Red and all from lovely Minneapolis. You're in Minneapolis? Oh wow, Eric. I don't know if you're gonna like what I got to say. But I'm glad you are here. I really am. Thank you. You may have a few comments. Joe, how you doing? Tim, how you doing? Rob, how you doing? Leon, rolling along. I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing, dear? Great to see all of you. Christina, good to see you. Thank you for being patient and waiting for me. I appreciate it. I appreciate it very much. Sonny, you have to miss the show and watch it tonight. Okay, that's okay. It's up here forever, I think. You never know. Hi, Red. Hope all is well. Well, kind of well. Had problems with my Wi-Fi here. Mickey Griggs. Hello to all of you folks. Good to see you. Rob, good to see you. Tim Perotti, question. Are crisis actors real? Sometimes. Scott H., Minnesota, the heart of Somali corruption. And tampon. Jimmy, alias Silver Fudd. What about those Bears? I'll tell you what, Paulie. I haven't watched an NFL game. Let me get some light on me here. I haven't watched an NFL game in many, many years because I'm boycotting the NFL. But I decided that I'd watch this game. And between the Bears and the Green Bay, the Bears and the Packers, Saturday. Great game. Probably the best game that I've ever seen in my life, other than Super Bowl 20. Super Bowl 20 in 1985 was, or 86, 85, 86 was a great game. Well, here we have a nice guy. You need a slap upside your head. That's what you need. You need to get out from behind that keyboard. Have you ever played the skin flute? You know something? Those are things that I used to hear when I was a kid in the Marine Corps. You don't say them to adults, not unless you're some kind of punk. that's goodbye to him. Anyway, the Bears game was terrific. It was absolutely fabulous. I enjoyed it. Actually, when I first tuned in, I looked at it. I was a little bit late. And when I looked at it, when I first tuned in, I said, Bears haven't got a chance. And score was 10 to 3, I believe, at the time. And it got worse. I mean, Green Bay scored again. But for a fourth quarter run, the Bears did something that I'd never seen any team do before. I've never seen a team do that. So it was an exceptional game to me. It was really an exceptional game. I also enjoyed watching or seeing the Soldiers Field. I had not seen it since they actually built seats way up high towards the Lake Michigan, towards the water. And I looked at the amount of seating and I said, wow, that place is really something else now. The field goals, the swirls, the rest of it, it was all great. However, the thing kept going through my mind, other than the injuries, and I saw a lot of mistakes by the what do you call it? The zebras. That's what I call them, the zebra. A lot of mistakes, and the referees, officials, whatever you want to call them. I saw a lot of bad calls, a lot of mistakes, and I said to myself, this game has got to be rigged. It really has to be rigged. Not by the players. Nobody's shaving points off here. They bought the officials. But that's the way it goes. Okay. Jacob, just ignore people like that. I'm going to try. I'm going to answer this guy's question. I don't even know if it's a guy. Are you a Confederate soldier? No. Are you stuck in a time machine? A bro came over on the Mayflower. Nah, just my relatives, that's all. That's all. So anyway, you're just curious. Okay. Stay curious. I'll try and answer all your questions anyway. Jacob, how many people do you think Marshall Cafano took down, Red? I don't know what you mean by take down. That's a whole different ballgame. Murdered? I have no idea. There were a few. I know he was well feared. If he said you were dead, you were dead. That's the kind of man he was. Am I in the Klan too? Why, you're there also? I'm not in the Klan. Killed, I don't know. Let's see. A ballpark guess, I would say maybe 20. Jacob, a ballpark guess. That's including Ray Ryan, which I believe was his last. You're so welcome, Guy. And so now we get to talk about I guess it's Mrs. Good. I think that's the best thing to call her. Mrs. Good was the media has gotten really crazy about this individual. And I'm sympathetic to her death. I really am. I'm not sympathetic to her cause, but I'm looking at the reason why she died. Because in my mind, she died for nothing. Absolutely nothing. She was a 37-year-old woman who her mission in life was to stop people from agents from arresting illegal people. In other words, her mission in life was to interfere with law enforcement. And why did she have that mission in life? Well, she might have had her personal reasons. We'll never know those because she can't talk to us. She's gone. She's dead. But how did she get that way? Why did she get that way? Well, first of all, let's go back to the very beginning. Her personal beliefs. She was told by her leaders at the time and the media and other people that what she was doing was a good thing. It was a very good thing. And she was helping people. And she was a good, solid Democratic person. But the media, on the other hand, is saying that she was all these wonderful things, but also a married woman to a woman. And I looked at that and said, why is that relevant? Why is it relevant at all? Why does anybody care whether she's married to somebody or not? Why do they care if she's married to a woman? Scott, I like you, Scott. It's the fat liberal lesbians that are the worst. They're brainwashed by the Democrats. Very possibly. You could be. That's the way it was. To push their narrative, yeah. But when someone brings up the fact that Charlie mentioned gang violence and then asked about gun violence, asked to be killed by Skippy cries. Well, you're entitled to your opinion because all you liberal people, you wanted freedom of speech. You could say anything. It doesn't have to be true, but you could say anything. And it happened. You got it. It's here. You can say anything. That person that you're looking at on the screen right now, that person's never going to smile again. Never. That person is dead. And dead's a long time. They don't come back from the dead. Not that I know of. But if there's anybody that needs to be indicted for the murder of this woman or the cause of her death, it would have to be people that were leaders, like the mayor of Minneapolis, like the governor of the state of Minnesota, like the other leaders that she followed that believed that they had the right. It was their God-given right to go out and interfere in a federal investigation. Some idiot taught them that. They might not have been that bad of people. Maybe they just had opinions, but they thought what they were doing was right. My opinion, only my opinion. It should have never been tried in the public with all these pictures and ideas, indictments, and all the rest of it. It's sad. It really is. This picture right here was taken just moments before she passed away. I don't know who you're talking about, but you better get your act together, otherwise you're going to be gone. The right and the left are both controlled by Israel. Boy, are you suckered up too. Another idiot. The last word she heard was drive, baby, drive. And that was from her partner, someone that she trusted. Sad thing. She didn't look angry to me either. You're allowed to give your opinion. The crazy ICE agent. Crazy. Boy, are you dumb, dumb, and dumber. Crazy. It is sad. It's very sad. Anyway, for all you people who never went to law school and you try to define what the law is really about, I'm going to give you a quick rundown. I've had a lot to do with the law, as some of you in here know. Some of my regular viewers, they know that I've had a lot to do with the law. I've had a lot to do with the law in Chicago. I've had a lot to do with federal law, state law, city law. And I have to tell you that it was all defined to me. It was defined to me by U.S. attorneys. It was defined to me by FBI lawyers. And here's the facts, folks. Like it or not, this is the way it is. Who has jurisdiction in any location throughout the United States of America? Well, the jurisdiction is it by the police officers? Do they have legal jurisdiction? Yes, they do. The municipal? Yeah. The county police officers? Yeah. The state police officers? Yeah, they have statewide jurisdiction. The federal agencies? All of them? We're talking about the FBI, the DEA. We're talking about all your federal agencies. Where's their jurisdiction? They're federal agents. They have jurisdiction anywhere in the United States of America. They can arrest a police officer. They can arrest other agents. They can arrest anybody. They have the power to arrest federal agents. But do people care? Do people listen to it? No, because since Obama was our president, he tossed out the laws and put in executive orders that said, oh, well, you don't have to listen to them if you don't want to. You don't have to. Leaders, tell your people they don't have to. They don't have to listen to them. They don't have to. They're not lawful orders. Yes, you're right. Judges also. Judges went that way also. Judges that don't follow the law. You know, like the one judge that she let somebody into the courtroom, and when she found out ICE was waiting for that person out of the back of the courtroom, she took him out through the back door. I'm sure you people heard about that. I heard about it. That's the way it is. So, Obama, the great divider in chief. Yes, he was. And I voted for that idiot. I voted for him because I wanted change. I didn't want John McCain to take us to war. I cared about our country. But guess what? It didn't do me any good. Didn't do me any good at all. Minnesota statutes. Authorization of deadly force by peace officers. That's a nice statute. It's a state statute. Did you know that there's federal statutes? Did you know there's county statutes? What supersedes a city statute, which is a quasi? The state. And you're talking about a Minnesota statute. What supersedes a Minnesota statute? Well, it wouldn't be the county because the county's in Minnesota. It would be a federal statute. That supersedes it. And that's the way it is. Like it or not, folks, that's the way it is. This person, Renee, died for nothing. She died because somebody else was playing with her life. And that's a sad thing. Very sad thing. How could it have been avoided? The first number one thing is she shouldn't have been there. No way. Second thing is she shouldn't have had the confidence that nothing's going to happen to me. I can go in here, block people, do whatever I want. And guess what? They can't do anything to me. They can't do it. Nobody can do anything to me. I have my rights. I'm a citizen. Well, just like her evidently closest friend said, they have their rights. And she said, when you interview us tomorrow, there was no tomorrow. There was a tomorrow for her, but not for the person that she told, drive, baby, drive. That person had a police officer in front of her and kept on driving. She accelerated. The wheels spun on the ice. But guess what? The bullet didn't spin. It went right through the windshield. And it was followed by several others. It was a sad story, but a true story. Very true story. Did she deserve to die? No. It happened. Is the officer guilty of murder? That's for a court to decide. But my opinion from, they put this out here for the public to actually try. They want to try it in public. That's the newest thing now. It's called transparency. Tell the public everything. Then they can make up all their decisions. You won't have a tainted jury. The whole jury system is going to be messed up. And that's the way it was and is. But DJ, drive, baby, drive woman was the reason 2 kids got taken into care. Same woman. Comments are going by here, folks. Hold on. Same woman. We'll get into the GoFundMe. Oh, believe me, the GoFundMe already, they stopped it at $1.5 million. It was stopped. The dead woman needs $1.5 million from the rest of the public. And where will that money go? Will it go to her children? Will it go to her legally married husband? No, I don't know where it'll go. I don't know what goes on in Minnesota. I really don't. All I know is what I see, and I don't like what I see. Don't break windows and follow police officers' orders. You're right. That's a good way you don't wind up dead. Leanne rolling along. The husband that she used to be married to passed down about 2 years ago. That's a sad thing. The whole thing is sad. It's ridiculous. And, you know, here we go. Fuck off. Dry Baby Drive woman was a child abuser who put cigs out, Renee's child, and guess who? Do you know that? Is that documented anywhere? You don't know that. You're spreading gossip. You're just as bad as the other people. I don't think she wanted to die. I really don't. Thank you, Red, for the old school common sense. You're welcome. You're welcome very much. This is what I believe. And also, I don't believe that all Democrats are bad. I don't believe that Republicans are all bad. It's one club or the other club. We have two clubs here. They call them parties, a two-party system. Well, occasionally it gets to independence and other things, like the case of a big upset with Abe Lincoln. He lost the primary, and he ran on the Union ticket, but he was a Republican. So, what are these people? Who are they? I don't know. Gordio, hey Red, late to the party. Looks like I missed the arguments. No, just the nasty comments by some people. I booted 3 from the room. They're just, bad actors. We have them in the world. We live with them. Remember, it's called freedom of speech. We're all entitled to it, aren't we? Well, I'm entitled to mine too. Like it or not, folks, this is the way it is. Just becoming extreme on both sides. The tension, yeah, it's a civil rights dialogue. Very good. Mainly caused by the Democrats. It depends on where you live to see who caused it all. I see it caused on both sides. 988, that's a big figure. How come you don't have comments on there? $1 billion of our taxpayers' money stolen, but our money went to fund her without asking us. I don't know. You guys are coming out. I'll tell you what, Pete Blackburn, I don't know where you get your facts, but if you're trying to spew them on my channel, you're wasting your time. Because after that comment, I won't put it up there anymore. Renee was a bad actor, a very bad actor. She made some bad mistakes. Was it worth it? No. Really wasn't. Stagecoach by her wife got a bunch of lefty loonies. I would say they're lefties, but I certainly wouldn't say they're all Democrats, because they're not. Not every Democrat believes these things. And yes, there are billions of taxpayer money, but it's stopped. Will they get it back? I don't know. Leanne. Brad, I live in Minnesota, so it seems everybody's talking about and doing a lot of research. You know, Leanne, I agree that everybody is, but you know what I don't like about that? They're trying it in the public. This whole thing should be tried in a courtroom, or, you know, like uh, it's like I'll give you a good example, Leanne. It's like the man that jumped up at the scene of the crash or in death and said, I'm a doctor. And the officer turned around and said, stay away from here. He was following procedure, the ICE officer. He saw the condition, or he thought he saw the condition of Renee. And when he saw that condition, he didn't think that a man standing on the side of the sideshow, should be allowed to say, I'm a doctor, let me in here. Let me look at it. I can help. Because he really believed that he needed somebody that was official. And how did he know what kind of doctor he was? Was he a pediatrician? Had he ever dealt with any gunshot wounds before? Was he a chiropractor? Was he a podiatrist? Was he a dentist? Nobody knows. He didn't pull out his credentials and describe who he was. And if he was really a good doctor, he would have at least done that, even if he was refused. It doesn't make any sense. Thank you, Puckoff. There's at least got to be common ground between us. You're right. You're absolutely right. And I want to see that common ground. I don't want to see all the hate. I don't want to see the negativity. There's enough of it in our lives. Every day when we get up, we have to fight with the world. You know, your question here, doesn't matter. She was dead already. Were you a doctor? Were you there? Did you pronounce her dead? Do you know? No, you don't know. But you have comments. And that's right. Thank you. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it. Yes, and no doctor needed coroner, probably. And then there should have been a coroner's inquest. And maybe there will be. I don't know. Red, do you think society is hold on one second, buddy. I'm getting to you. Is just too fractured to come back together? No, I do not. The only time in history that I saw that I thought it took a long time for society to come back together was the Civil War. We're talking about brother killing brother. We're talking about cousins killing cousins, family actually murdering each other under the name of a flag, under the name of a war. And that didn't work out too well. But we survived. We came back. And there is a chance. But before that chance happens, we got to get some things straight. We got to understand what the rules are to the game. And yes, ICE is federal police. They are police officers. They are federal officers. You know, I've often said this, Mike Holmes. I think if we were attacked by a foreign nation, we would all come together again. because we'd have to take care of each other. You know, this is something, gung ho, that I brought up. 4 students killed at Kent State. Yeah. They crossed the line. It was called a tragedy because it was. But it was no bigger tragedy than in 1968, the same year, I believe, the Chicago riots in Grant Park and Lincoln Park, when Mayor Daley said, shoot to kill. And there were thousands of police officers. Local, mind you, they didn't need to be federal, and National Guard, that stretched across and beat upon, tear gassed, and shot at, and on Mayor Daley's order, shoot to kill, got to disperse the crowd. It worked. Somehow people forgot that happened. They think, oh no, that can't happen anymore. It can. She wanted to die because she was a lesbian. I don't think so. I disagree with you. They are unprofessional. Who? ICE? ICE acted very professional. They did exactly what I would have done, or anybody that had any training would have done. Many idiots got her murdered. The last one, you know, that had the old saying, drive, baby, drive. She was the nail in the coffin. The real people that got her to that person where she was at, that was a problem. Would I have stepped in front of a vehicle like hers? I don't know. He was wearing a badge. I probably wouldn't have thought twice about it. Yes, I would have stepped in front of a suspect's car. Wouldn't have bothered me one bit. Who's delusional? The folks that justify murder. Yeah, maybe you're delusional. Maybe you just spread and spew your bullshit. That's enough of your sexual language. That's enough of your bullshit. You belong off of YouTube. Watch your language. You got one warning. That's it. She ran over the guy. She tried to drive away. It's called hit and run. It would have been. There wasn't very far to run, though. There were agents right there grabbing her door, telling her, don't do anything. A cell phone in one hand and a pistol in the other. And she tried to run him over. Foolish. It happened. Everybody lost. Her family lost, her people that loved her people that cared about her. She was a human being. But then again, so was the federal agent. He's a human being too. And he had a right to live. And he exercised that right. I think his training was very, very good. Scott, you're right. Just stay at home. If you want to, if you feel that you have the need, the actual need, you can't function unless you get out and speak your piece. Freedom of assembly. then go out and do it. Me personally, I don't think there's anything that's that important to me that I need to go out into a crowd. And in crowds, things happen. Just like in this chat here. Things are happening in this chat. People are saying things that they normally wouldn't say to my face. And then there's other people that would. She wasn't terrified. Oh, you're going to give your opinion here now. You are very intelligent. Law enforcement should be able to do its job without interference of the courts doing the fighting. I agree. I agree. Some bad information. She was 300 miles from home. No, she wasn't. She was 300 miles from where she used to live. She was only blocks away from her home. Those are facts. It's over and it'll probably happen again. It might. And if it does, guess what? I'm going to be on here talking about it because I don't think it's right. Mike Holmes. Crazy Train says the media sells it and the people play the role. Yeah, very true. No, she wasn't terrified to be in traffic. She wasn't terrified at all. It was a shame. I hope you're not speaking to me, Lewis, because you have no idea what I think of you. You should have served with me in the Marine Corps. You really should have. You'd know. You would know. And it's people like you that need to know. Anywho, let's go back and take a look at some of these, one of the other illustrated photos that I have. I'd like to, if I can. There's the two of them together. Were they happy? I don't know. I really don't know if they were happy or not. Yeah, I know, Bob. But it's a whole lot easier to deal with on here and not take their lives. I've taken human life. I know what it's like. It's a little different. It was legal. The Fed wasn't standing in front of the SUV. Okay, you were there, you know, right? She backed up and oriented the SUV, placing him in front of the SUV, and then looked. I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you. You're trying to set up a this. That's what's wrong with this whole mess. It really is. It's sad. I'm not on one side or the other side. I'm on the law. I believe in the law side. Exile, nerd in exile. Your name says a lot. Nerd in exile. Oh, now we have a hard ass here. Maybe you should meet me. What war were you was excuse me, great English. What war was you in? Was he in the Marines? What battle? Me? I was in Vietnam. And I was at the 1-9. They called our unit the Walking Dead. We lost a lot of people, but we took a lot of them with us too. Look it up. Find out who I am. Don't jump to conclusions, David. The force wasn't excessive, her actions were excessive. I agree, Mike. But believe me, I'm not the coroner's inquest. This shouldn't be tried in a public court like this, or public opinion. It really shouldn't. You know, I'm going to bring up something to you. We saw the video. We would not be discussing this if it were clear cut. You're absolutely right. But there's some other things that I'd like to point out, if I can. Is we saw videos of men landing on the moon. And there are some idiots out there that believe it never happened. It was all done in a studio. It was all a fake. It was a sham. Some people did. That's what they believed. But they saw it on a video, and they think the rest of us are just suckers. It's funny. I don't support illegal immigrants, but I don't support ICE agents with PSTD shooting runaway moms. Well, I don't support any illegal. I don't care if they've committed crimes or not. If they didn't come into this country legally, then I think they should get up and get out. And if they don't get up and get out, I believe agents should move them out. Don't count on the local cop to do it. He may be their friend. And the PTSD agent that you're trying to infer about, was that your diagnosis, post-traumatic stress syndrome? Or was it the diagnosis of the person that put him back to duty, that said he was going back to duty? Tell me. I want to know, mister. The local and state governments all should be held responsible. You're damn right they should. They should. Nerd in exile. You were a rat for 18 years. No, a lot more than that, you dumb motherfucker. It was a lot more than that. But you know, you're in exile. What the hell do you know? You don't know jack. If you did, you wouldn't be shooting off your fingers because your mouth doesn't work. It's nowhere near my ear. But I wish it was. Wishing gets me nowhere. David, stolen valor. What it sounds like to me. Really? You are one dumb son of a bitch. Stolen valor. RV Doc, how you doing? Red speaks the truth. Yeah, you'd probably know. How long we don't known each other, Doc? Long time now, hasn't it? I was in hotel company, 2nd Battalion, 4th Regiment. You were in the Gung Ho, 1968. That's when I came back in 1968, guy. Congratulations. Semper Fi, buddy. Semper Fi. Justin, N2W, used to work for a roofer who was in Nam. Yeah. Somebody knows everybody, but there's not that many of us left now. I'm not that young anymore. I won't be around forever. That may make some of you very happy to know that, but others not. I'll be missed by some, I'm sure. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for thanking me for my service. Believe me, when I did it years ago, I wasn't thinking about you. I wasn't thinking about this moment. I was thinking about what had to be done. You just bought yourself getting kicked off my channel. Good riddance to Charlie Kirk. Well, good riddance to you, you piece of shit. Thank you for my service. That's great. We all have ghosts someday. Yeah, we do. Scott, that moment, she was absolutely innocent. People don't try and run over police. No, and innocent people don't run. I always get a kick of it. You know, when I was a kid, nobody ran from the police. But I was real surprised in the early 70s when a detective that I knew, Chicago police detective, was chasing a rapist. And he said, I couldn't catch him. I just couldn't catch him. He was at a local college, a community college. And he said, I couldn't catch him. And I said, why didn't you fire a shot over his head? He smiled and looked at me and said, are you crazy? That just makes him put it in second gear. Well, back in the old days, they didn't fire it over your head. They shot you right in the back, or they shot you in the leg. They did something. They stopped you. But that stopped. It was inhumane. It was so inhumane. It was terrible. No, it wasn't that terrible. Not to me. No more inhumane than capital punishment, which, by the way, I live in the state of Florida, and it was announced that the governor just announced his execution plans this month, and we're going to have somebody put away. Last year, they executed more people than one per month, and I look at that and say that's a good thing. Not just because they took a life, not because they went all those other people. It just was who it was. But we're having some negativity here. A lot of negativity. Yes, there's other people I can point out to too. RV Doc. Ask John Dillinger what it's like to run from the cops. Yeah, I agree, RV Doc. Sounds like you'll end up in hell. I don't know. It sounds like you don't know your ass from a hole in the ground. Yeah, Bonnie and Clyde's another one. Didn't do them any good to run. Criminals are criminals. She was smart It wasn't smart for her to block the road. I agree. No, she didn't deserve that. No, she didn't deserve to die over blocking the road. I agree with that too. But that whole thing could have been avoided if she hadn't been there at all. She was interfering with a federal agent. I'll give you something real fast, folks. I was walking my dog in the alley on Wells Street. Somebody's talking about my 1.9. Thank you. Thank you for the respect. I appreciate it. God bless you. At any rate, what I was starting to tell you was, okay, we're going to talk about Vietnam. Gung Ho 68. Yeah, Semper Fi to you, buddy. If you were, if you know, you gotta check me out a little bit before you go making those ifs, Marine. You want to know so much about me? Send me an email. I'll tell you about my life. Anyway, I was on Wall Street and I went to walk my dogs in the alley. And there were a couple guys in the alley, actually more than a couple. There were about 4 or 5 guys in the alley, and they had shotguns and they were wearing black trench coats. And one guy screamed at me and told me to get back in my house. He said, "You live there? Get back in there and get them dogs back there too." And he brandished his shotgun. And the other guys looked at me. And I looked at him with a challenge. And he pulled out a badge and said, "U.S. Marshals, do what you're told." And I did. I went back inside. And when I got upstairs, because I had to go up the stairs, and I put the dogs away, I called the local police. I called 911 and said, "There's some strange men running around in the alley out here, and they have shotguns." Half the city showed up. Half the city of Chicago showed up in the alley with their lights on and everything else. And they almost had a shootout, but they identified themselves. And they had federal supremacy over the Chicago police. They told the Chicago police, "Do not interfere." They told the police, "Don't interfere." And they didn't. They executed their search warrants. They arrested the proper people and they held a trial and everybody was convicted. And that's the way it was. Christina Morris, you deserve a good cocktail and a glass of wine over today's chat. Yes, you do, sweetheart. She's a great person. She wasn't impeding officers. He was in no danger. Okay. Racist, angry, shrimp. You know something? You are one of the biggest assholes I've ever seen in my life. Goodbye. It wasn't nice. Red, did I come close to getting hit with Agent Orange? Several of my guys in my unit died of it. I never got sprayed with it. I don't know how to describe the terrain where I was, and I don't want to, really. Marshals are the law of the land. Yes, the marshals are the law of the land. But also, federal agents are the law of the land also. They supersede. It's called Federal Supremacy Act. Read it. Understand it. (2008) to present, you beta punks have been asking for a civil war. Probably. I hope they don't get it. We don't need that. Yep, Federal Supremacy Act. That's what it was. The ICE agent won't be charged that was hit with the car and tracked and aiding or acted accordingly. I agree, DJ. Anyway, Kenneth Cadwell, must have missed your comments, but Title I forbids the officer to do what he did. Are you a lawyer, Kenneth? Do you know what you're talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Whatever code was passed by Timmy, the governor, it doesn't supersede federal law. That's just the way it is. Anyway, folks, it's a sad thing, but it's a true thing. It happened. And what can we do about it? We can't do anything about it right now, except make sure it doesn't happen again. And I can't do that. I can't guarantee it won't happen again. Good to see you, Lone Wolf. Was that proven in a court of law? Do you know that to be a fact, or are you just spreading gossip? Jonathan Ross was not hit, but he put his hand on the car bullet hole that was 2 inches from the impact at seat center. I don't know that. I didn't look at the evidence. I really didn't. I don't think there's been a coroner's inquest, to be honest with you. Nazi Confederate. You know something? You're just a plain old, stupid, dumb idiot that I just said goodbye to. I don't want you. Get away from me. You're gone. You know, you have a good question. Why lie? Why defend a child beater? There's no reason to, if you know it's a fact. If it's not, it's gossip. And gossip kills. It gets people hurt. It's a few hundred years ago, maybe less, in some parts, that people got hung, shot, tried, convicted when they weren't even guilty. And they went through all that process. And right here on the internet, you people are going to be judge and jury and witnesses. You're going to give the whole show. Drive, baby, drive t-shirts, please. This is sickening. Well, folks, the truth of the matter is, that's what was said. That's exactly what was said, Gordio, that either her or her partner, but there's no courtroom statements of that. There's no evidence to back it up. It's a shame. Here we go. Red, I'm surprised that nobody has blamed Israel yet for the fatal shooting. Well, they have right here on this channel, guy. They really have. Right here on this channel. I ejected them. I said, that's it. Goodbye. Now that you had your 2 cents. Anyway, folks, I want to thank all of you for showing up. Oh, God, here we go. Did see pictures when she used to be heterosexual and she was pretty. And this is what woke does to people. Maybe. I don't think she was ever 100%. This was put to me one day, and this may help you with your opinions. By Young, 23K. I don't think people turn homosexual overnight. I mean, bang, one day you're heterosexual, next day you're homosexual. I think those are things that they just are. And it was explained to me very, very capable one day that people don't get like that overnight. They're possibly bisexual. They have both sexuality preferences somewhere. And then all of a sudden the switch gets flipped and that's it. That's the way it is, folks. Adam, it's good to see you, buddy.
Wow, I walked in at the right time, huh?
This is the longest show I ever ran. There are probably more people ejected from this than I've ever ejected in my life. We have a lot of people that think that they're lawyers. A lot of people that think that they can just say anything they want. But generally speaking, I subscribed, Red. Hope to see more of your stuff from you. You will every Monday. I'm on here every Monday. And with the man you see right now, Adam Flowers, we do a show Wednesday. And we have been for how many years now, Adam? Have we been doing
going on 6 years, Red.
6 years. So every Wednesday we'll be doing a show, and I'm on here Mondays. And I'm glad you appreciate me, my stuff. Thank you. God bless you. Yeah, Adam, it's been something else. There's one guy that said, you'd got a kick out of this one. Everybody's trying to push my buttons, which I kind of look for in a way. But some people are thanking me for my service. There was one guy that said I'm stolen valor. It never happened.
That's awesome. How did everything go with the Renee Good? Good chat.
I think it was very good chat. It was kind of volatile. I was kind of aggressive. I told people I don't believe this should be tried in the public like we are doing right now. I don't believe it should be done that way. I think it should be tried in a courtroom. I think the inquest is very important about the lady that died or the woman that died.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a real good thing to have happen. But not everybody agrees with me. There's some logical people. Majority of the people here are very logical, supportive. Some of them are not. And those people, here we go. The truth of the matter is Jonathan Ross was trained specifically not to do what he did for over 10 years. Really? Do you know that? What do you know about his training? What do you really know about his training? Is there anything that you actually saw about his training? Have you ever been trained as a law enforcement officer yourself? Do you know anything other than what you're told by other people? No, just another sheep.
It looked like a reaction to me, and if you see the one angle too, he gets thumped. I mean,
it looked like a reaction to me too. Here's somebody. Let's try it another way. When you were in the 1-9 before me in 1968, hill fights. Actually, it was it was in the fall. It was, I don't know if it was in the fall or not. It was in monsoon, but yeah, I was in the hill fights a little bit. I forget the number of the hill. We were up in the DMZ. It was rough, very different. So Gun Ho 68. That's all I really want to talk about right now. Adam will tell you I was on his show. We talked a little bit about Vietnam. Did we not, Adam?
Yeah, of course. And by the way, guys, and not that Red doesn't mention it, but don't forget to hit the like button. Red's out here working hard for you. Yeah, we did. We talked about that a little bit on the mob vlog and the Who is Red Wemette video as well. If those of you who don't know who Red Wemette is, you can check that out. What an amazing story that Red has in a life that the guy has been through. So,
well, some people knew a little bit of it because I was called a rat. I was called a lot of things here today. A lot of name calling out here. Very different though. But
yeah, exactly.
I hope that this helps you, Gun Ho. And if you serve, thank you. Thank you for your service. 1968 I was home in 68, guy. I was dealing with the mob, Chicago mob back then. So that's the way it was. I haven't watched the video of the shooting, and I don't plan on it. Jim, it's good to see you. I'm trying to get your name here. Morris. Hi, Red. How you doing? Okay. I wish I could say hi back to you, but thank you. Anyway, Adam, you just came in, and I think we should say goodbye. And I'll be here with Adam. Raise your hand, Adam.
Hey, have a great day, Red.
I'll be here with Adam on at 4:00 on Wednesday, and it's called Mob Vlog. And afterwards, I usually do an after show, and he comes with me too. We have fun. But anyway, it's great. Leanne rolling along. Good to see you.
See you Wednesday. Have a great day, guys.
Yeah. God bless you. Okay. So for now, it's Red Wemette out. And thank you, Adam, for joining us. Thank you, Adam Flowers.
You're welcome, Red.
And we will see you. God bless.
The combination of the videotapes and Wemette's testimony resulted in the conviction of 2 men on extortion charges. One of them was Frank Schweiz, known in syndicate circles as the German, a feared mob terrorist and a suspect in a number of gangland murders.
He was described to me by other outfit individuals as the most feared hitman. And as he said to me, my reputation precedes me, son.